Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Note to Self. Today, I have a very powerful episode for when it feels like nothing is happening. So, if you're presently in a season where things are feeling slow, stuck, or uncertain, this one's for you. And I first want to acknowledge how challenging it is to feel like you're doing all the right things, but not seeing the results. My intention in today's episode is to remind you that stillness is not stagnation. You are growing, and science, nature, and your soul can prove it. And by the end of this episode, you're going to know exactly how to transform this energy whenever it shows up in your life again. But before we dive into the content, I just gently want to remind you that May Magic is presently open until May 23rd. This is your opportunity to fill out the form below, stating your intentions, the level of coaching support that would be best for you, and your budget, and I'll get back to you within 72 hours with a personalized coaching package just for you. So if you felt the call, the nudge to coaching, this is your opportunity, and I cannot wait to work with you. So let's first dive into the neuroscience of feeling stuck. What is happening in our brains when we're starting to feel that discomfort arise, questioning, doubting ourselves, even having bouts of anxiety arise? So our brain's default mode is to seek patterns and control. So when it can't see that movement, it automatically assumes danger or failure and starts to panic. And specifically, the amygdala flags uncertainty as a threat. And that then triggers a stress response in the body, which activates the nervous system, which is why the mind may start to spiral and then the body starts to feel very activated, potentially in that fight or flight mode. Your nervous system interprets a lack of external progress as a personal threat, not because it's true, but because it's wired that way. So when it doesn't feel like, let's say, your manifestation is unfolding, or your goals are being achieved, or that forward momentum that you're desiring, you can't really see it or tap in, the nervous system is sending the signal to your body that it's not safe. But there is a workaround to this, and this is what I want you to remember, is that the next time that you're feeling stuck and it's feeling very uncomfortable, you can feel those feelings arising in your body that feel like you're not safe, or anxiety starts to come up, remind yourself that you are more powerful than you have perceived yourself to be, and you can actually override the fear that's unfolding in your mind and body. So specifically, the prefrontal cortex, the decision-making center, can be rewired in its response to stillness. So if presently stillness or stagnation is triggering fear, you can rewire that to hopefulness, to trust, to certainty. So imagine that if the story is nothing is working, you can start to wire in something is working beneath the surface. The more and more that you decide to tell yourself stories like, even if I can't see it, it doesn't mean it's not happening. There is so much conspiring in my favor. I just can't see it yet. I've got divine forces working on my behalf, etc., etc. When you feel stuck, this is the most important time to override the system and start to tell yourself new stories. Start to recite these thoughts or these types of affirmations to yourself, and you will rewire the brain. And what we know is that a thought that you keep thinking becomes a belief. So the more and more that you can begin to wire in, it's all working in my favor, everything is conspiring, my manifestations are unfolding even when I can't see them, that will then start to become your default when stillness or stuckness occurs. So you are a powerful creator, and you can literally rewire your brain and its reaction to stillness or stagnancy, perceived stillness or stagnancy, I'll say. So remember, the next time that you feel that discomfort arise, that is the time to make the change. Next, I want to share with you a very powerful metaphor that I personally always come back to when I'm feeling a bit of that discomfort around stillness. So this is all about bamboo. So did you know that bamboo can take 5 years to show visible growth? That means that when bamboo is planted, it can be underground for 5 whole years. And that's because it's building a deep root system underground. Think powerful foundation vibes, unshakable nature. And when this bamboo finally breaks the surface, it can grow up to 90 feet in 6 weeks. That is a quantum leap. So think crickets for 5 years and then a massive, strong, unshakable quantum leap. How inspiring is that? Imagine if bamboo decided to give up in year 4, right? It would be missing out on all that sunlight, all that potential. So remember, no matter where you are, even if it feels like nothing's happening, start to tell yourself the story that a powerful foundation is being built, that so much is conspiring on your behalf, and that the greatest parts of your life, incredible feelings, incredible interactions, opportunities, they're all just around the corner, or they're all just over breaking through the surface. So use this metaphor in any area of life, business, relationships, personal growth. If you're feeling that sense of stagnancy, it's just your root system that's developing right now, and it's preparing you for your quantum leap. You are not stuck, you are being fortified. So next, I want to touch on the spiritual and emotional truth of the pause. So integration, rest, recalibration, these are all productive states, even if we've been programmed to think otherwise. For myself, it took a very long time to decondition out of the hustle. I always felt like I had to be doing something, seeing results in order to feel worthy, or in order to really feel like things were happening. I didn't understand how powerful it could be to take rest, to allow things to integrate. But once I started to understand that, once I started to relax into my nervous system in that way, that is personally when I began to expand to receive more. So oftentimes when you might be experiencing a pause, this is your opportunity to relax into that. Start to imagine that your energy body is expanding to receive. It is expanding to receive the things that you've been intending for. Often, especially in the manifestation process, it can feel quiet right before the breakthrough. It can also start to feel kind of natural before the breakthrough, as in, like, let's say you're manifesting something big into your life, like a relationship or a new job. Sometimes that pause is just relaxing the nervous system so that when those things happen, it just feels like, yeah, of course, this was supposed to happen. So again, taking rest, deconditioning the nervous system, and recalibrating, this is all important parts of you reaching your next level. There is often a gestation period of big dreams, especially because the universe is rearranging things on your behalf in ways that you can't see. And if you find yourself questioning this, think about something that you manifested or created in your life that you had no idea how it happened, but then in hindsight, you found out, this had to happen, that had to happen, all these things had to line up in order for me to receive this divine inspiration, or receive this beautiful creation, or receive this thing coming to fruition. And just bask in that. Bask in those real life examples that you have, and you'll come to a new level of trust for yourself. So even when it feels like nothing is happening, in fact, everything is happening. So how do we stay anchored in that trust that everything is happening? So first and foremost, reframe your self-talk, support yourself. Tell yourself stories like, I'm preparing for the next level, or this is a sacred period of recalibration, or like I said, everything is happening on your behalf. The universe is conspiring in your favor. This is your opportunity to take a quick rest before the big opportunities unfold. Grounding practices can also be very powerful to calm the nervous system. This can be something like meditation, breath work, journaling, or just being in nature. one thing that I love, especially when I'm feeling these stagnant vibes, is to just go out for a walk to the park or go to the beach, go immerse myself in nature somewhere. And there's something about being in the presence of nature. We all know that nature has such a divine intelligence. The seasons just know when they're unfolding. The leaves just know when to change color and fall and grow back, etc., etc. When we tap into that frequency itself, trust just comes more easily. So if you're feeling stuck or stagnant, maybe you're even walking around in nature when you're listening to this episode, and that could be extra powerful. But this is your reminder that just stepping out for a walk, immersing yourself in nature can work wonders. Another exercise that you can do is to connect with your future self. So you can either write a letter to yourself from, let's say, 6 months ahead, saying like, oh, it all happened, and I would have never guessed how it would unfold. But I want to also remind you that we've got a very powerful tool in our realities right now that is ChatGPT. So for me personally, when I'm feeling the sense of stuckness or stagnancy, I've gone to ChatGPT and I've asked it to send me a letter from my future self, letting me know that it all happened and that it was better than I could ever imagine. And I'm telling you, there's just something really divine when it's not something that I've written and it gets fed back to me and it feels like I could have written that. I don't know. There are ways in which AI and ChatGPT have been a real gift to my personal mindset practices and work. So yeah, try it out. So I've got a journal prompt for you as well. And this is something to explore, whether you want to write about it or to meditate into it. But what if this season is setting you up for something greater than you can currently see? So again, kind of that idea that it's going to be bigger than you could ever imagine. And that's why it's important that there is this rest, this sacred pause, because you are gearing up energetically to receive something better than you've ever received before. And that's because life just keeps getting better and better. And this is a very powerful belief system to wire in, a very powerful story to tell yourself. It gets to keep getting better for you. The other shoe doesn't have to drop. It gets to keep elevating for you. So again, this journal prompt or a thought to meditate into, what if this season is setting you up for something greater than you can currently see or feel or even imagine? So in conclusion, your brain might say that you're stuck. The truth is your soul knows that you're growing, and I know that you know that. And I hope that in today's episode, you gained tools, a powerful metaphor, a greater understanding of the mind to support you the next time that you're feeling stuck. And if you feel like this feeling arises from time to time and you need support with that, know that you can always reach out for coaching. This is something that I personally always go to my coach about when there's feeling that there's stagnant energy. Most often there's just something that needs to be looked at in order to break through and then big things happen. But you can also just save this episode. Save this episode for the next time that these feelings arise and know that you have the support here. You created this episode. You're the creator of your reality. You are so much more powerful than you have perceived yourself to be, and you can overcome and conquer anything. And I just want to end this episode by saying I'm very excited for you, because if you clicked onto this episode because you're presently in a season of stagnation or uncertainty, that means the biggest, most beautiful things are about to unfold for you. So have a beautiful, beautiful day, and don't forget, May Magic is down below, and I can't wait to work with you.